I can absolutely guarantee you're gonna fall in love with this pastry, or at least be in romantic relationships. I'm just kidding, but this is really good. Sweet, buttery, it has dry fruits, it has walnuts. Someone ate our raisins, Aram. We need more raisins. You can use any kind of raisins, any dry fruits you have on hand, it's okay to use. I would say a handful of each, although I'm gonna put down a detailed recipe and I'll link it in the description. But I normally just grab here and there whatever I have left, let's say. But go heavy on walnuts or any nuts. You can use almonds, pistachios, anything you have on hand basically. You will also need some sour cream. Ingredients only room temperature. Sour cream, some butter from happy cows, eggs from happy chickens, and flour, baking powder. That's it for now. You basically mix all your ingredients, make a dough, make the stuffing or filling, bake it, and it's ready. That's simple. So we'll need probably, I'll be honest, I do it always eyeballing. Let's say I have a little bit of sour cream left, I'll grab whatever is in my fridge. This is 200 to 250 grams. In the recipe you can go either 200 grams or 250 grams. Just make sure you even up. If you have 250 grams of sour cream, you add 250 grams of butter, or 200, 200, 100 and 100. If you want to make a small, just personal size gata, that will work as well. So I'm gonna add my sour cream, butter, 1 egg for now, and we'll need another egg yolk to brush the top, and that's basically it. And 2.5 to 3 cups of flour. I'll let you know about the flour. We all have different kinds of flour, all ingredients may be slightly different, so you go by texture of the dough. Okay, let's do this. I promise I'll give you the recipe in correct and exact measurements. It's just my way doing some things by eyeballing. Okay, 1 egg. Even if you add 2 eggs, nothing will happen, trust me. Oh, here is. So better do cut into small pieces so it's easier to work with your hands, or if you want to do the mixer session, you can do by mixer. But I think this is also therapeutic. When you work with the dough, you give it your energy, your love and passion, it turns out even more delicious. So 1 egg. You start your own therapy by mixing wet ingredients first of all, or soft ingredients, and little by little I'm gonna add the flour and stop when I feel like the dough does not need any more flour. It will tell you. I forgot to mention, if you're using salted butter like I'm doing, you don't need to add salt, but if it's not salted butter, just regular butter, unsalted, add half a teaspoon of salt, sea salt. You can see the dough is still sticky, it needs more flour, but it's so much easier to continue working with it on your work surface since you're working. And gently you're just folding the dough, kind of kneading very softly until it's nice and smooth and silky, non-sticky, all those good qualities. Roll it into this long, I don't know, you call it cylinder or log. Cut the 1/3 of the dough and make 2 balls, just like so. Do not overknead the dough, please. Slightly flatten the dough. You can either cover it with towel or plastic wrap. What I usually do, I would suggest to do it the same way if you're not in a hurry. I like setting it at room temperature about 30 minutes and then sending to fridge overnight. You don't have to send to fridge for overnight fermenting, but that way you'll have better texture for the dough, better tasting dough, fermented dough, which is, I think it's an advantage, but it's up to you. You can just leave 30 minutes and then start rolling out the dough. But I already made some yesterday, so I'll set this aside and show you the rest. For the buttery filling or stuffing, you of course use butter. You can use clarified butter or regular butter. Salted, always horiz, that's the filling's name in Armenian, has to have not visible, but the amount of salt that you can feel, because the pastry itself is quite sweet. If you don't add the salt, you'll regret all your life. So 150 grams of butter, I'm gonna melt it down and slightly boil it, and then we'll need a cup of sugar, 1 and plus cups of flour. And you know what we forgot to show you when we're filming, when I'm adding baking powder to the dough. But it's okay, I'm gonna write it in a recipe. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Somehow we skipped filming it. I'll let this melt, and I'm gonna chop my dry fruits and nuts. Of course, you don't have to cut the raisins unless they are huge. The most delicious kind, the big long black raisins, I think those will taste so good in this gata. Just chop them finely. You can use your rolling pin if you like, but somehow I enjoy cutting the walnuts this way. So let me enjoy the process. Try to cut the dates into smaller than bite-sized pieces. I'm gonna mince it after I'm done cutting. But you still wanna feel the pieces of everything when you're biting. I'll take all the dates because it's so good with especially soft meat jewel dates, best kind. Oh, did I say I have prunes, or I forgot to mention them? Prunes taste amazing with this gata. Oh, I forgot to mention it. After they bake, they become kind of soft and chewy. It's just a feast for your palate. And continue enjoying the process of slicing dry fruits and nuts. Our dry fruit mixture is ready. Now, let's not forget we're boiling some butter and it's melted. I'm gonna add sugar first of all. And vanilla extract. You can also use some cognac or not whiskey, what was it? Cognac. It's just perfect, but you don't have to. With this recipe, fruits have enough flavor, so you don't have to add it. I want, here, vanilla extract. An extra ingredient that I like adding, although it's not in the recipe, it's orange zest. Or lemon zest will work just fine, but I think orange and dry fruits together is like very festive flavor. Like a tablespoon or so. I just wanna take the life out of this orange. Okay, I got all the zest and slightly mix it just to incorporate everything. And I'm gonna add about 1.5 cups of flour. This is again one of those things that you have to feel the texture. It has to be kind of crumbly and sticky. I'll add 1 cup, start mixing it, and then if I need more, I'll add more. See, I didn't measure my butter. Although you'll have the exact measurements, exact recipe, it might need a little bit more flour, and it's almost there. Quickly testing the texture or consistency. Look, it's kind of crumbly, soft, but when you stick it together, it sticks easily and it crumbles easily. So that's the right consistency of horiz. It's called horiz in Armenian. Okay, now we can add our dry fruits and it's ready to go. Let's give it a mix. Another therapy. This is yesterday's dough. By the way, this freezes so well for a month. You can make it, set it in your freezer and take it out, thaw and use it. This is the big one, the big boy. A little bit of flour. Now I'm gonna roll out big dough first, the big brother first. It's slightly cold still. Now we need to make sure we put all the stuffing or filling or emotions into the first layer, on top of the first layer. You may think it's a lot, but when it bakes, trust me, you're gonna want more. Like a maniac, I want more dry fruits. And slightly leave a space about 2 to 2.5 inches, let's say, so we can seal it properly. And now I'm gonna roll out this little brother and put on top of this. You roll out the second part as wide as it needs to slightly cover this horiz mixture. Since it's brushed with egg whites, it's gonna be like glue and stick together easily. Just fold it over. We're gonna try to put this upside down on the parchment paper. This is a large portion. I made it with 300 grams of butter because I needed to make more to share with some people. Regular size recipe will be easier to handle. So we need to turn this upside down and let's try doing it carefully, gently. This came out wedding size. You can split the recipe and make 2 small gatas. You want to make it as evenly, perfectly round as possible. Now the last step before the last step, you're gonna make it look nice and beautiful. And you're gonna grab your 2 hands, 4 fingers, and kind of pinch it, the edges. Pinch the edges, yes. And I like designing it like a sun. I think it's beautiful. It resembles sun so much. And try to punch a couple of holes here and there so it doesn't puff up too much and bakes evenly through. Egg yolk, although egg white will work just fine. I think this is not enough. I'm gonna add another egg yolk and brush it just like you do any egg wash. I love doing this by hands. This is such a large gata. You have to use your both hands. Use your brush if you like, pastry brush. I love it doing it by hands to fully enjoy the process of making gata. send this to 375 degree preheated oven for about 35 to 38 minutes. If it's a small sized, you can go with 28 to 33 minutes. See how precise I'm telling the measurements. My pizza stone is preheated because I was making something in the morning. I'm gonna try heating it. Oh, actually I'm gonna leave it on the cookie rack. It's better this way, and then probably I'll remove it from the rack and let it cook or bake. Sorry, bake on pizza stone, which is the best option. In about 35 minutes, it's ready. Look how gorgeous it looks. It's so beautiful. I don't want to cut it. I'm gonna cut it into diamond shapes. Just look at the inside. This will be probably the most appetizing, good looking fruit bar. Oh my god, gorgeous. I love the sides. It's crispy, crunchy, and kind of flaky. I just want you to look at the texture of the dough. Look, you can barely see any of the dough layer. It's like thin and flaky. I'm kidding. I'll take a bite. Delicious. Amazingly delicious. You should try this, guys. Recipe in the description. Try it. I hope you like it. Kids are back from school. Thank you so much for watching. You can share, subscribe if you like, and just be a happy person. That's very important. That's it. Hello, happy people.